Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Fed Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is June 11, 2024, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, we're watching Bitcoin take a nosedive. But first, looking at today's major economic events. So earlier today, out of Great Britain, we had a Claimant Count Change number coming out. Now, tomorrow, we're inching closer to our CPI and FOMC rate statement from the United States. So be aware of it. The market's going to be kind of shaky before then. Now, looking at today's markets, Forex symbols, we're watching the US dollar advance versus the major pairs ahead of this major number tomorrow. And as we shift over to the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ unchanged, while the NASDAQ sticking to its highs. And looking at commodities, oil gains nicely on the upside, while gold unchanged and natural gas continues to gain on the upside. Now, looking at the stocks, rotation continues. Apple stalls at that resistance, while Facebook and Microsoft do gain nicely on the upside. Now, lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin nosedive. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Euro USD. Now, I want to highlight this first, starting out on a weekly chart, then we're going to scroll back. Now, we are trading in that range. We've been trading in this range for who knows how long. And we are just breaking it. Now, the reason I'm highlighting this on a weekly chart first is that we're breaking the 8-day moving average. That's super important on a weekly. Now, second thing is, if that blue line crosses the red line, okay, that'll mean that the 30 days breaking and moving lower than the 8-day moving average, which is a breakout signal. So just be aware of it, take a look at it, keep it on your radar. Now, things could change tomorrow, right? I mean, depending on what's going to happen from the United States, from the FOMC, things can continue changing. But let's take a look at a 4-hour chart. That's the resistance we had, 108.96-ish level. I can remember this number is in my head. And we scrolled down to 107.67. Now, it's 2 days that we've been scrolling down and selling off. Okay, and this morning we got a gap down. That's also super important. That means that there's still some weakness. Now, I do expect it to somehow bounce, but let's take a look at this today and see how much it bounces. Now, looking at the GBP USD, did not break down us aggressively. This is very important. That means the British pound, which is normally much stronger, is now showing to us that it's stronger, and the euro is weaker vis-a-vis the dollar. Okay, that's relative strength. That's very important. That means it's changing character for the euro. Okay, now looking at commodities, gold remaining unchanged. I'm not going to take a look at it. It's really at the bottom of its range here also, so it's bouncing. Now, if we do break that 22.91, that's significant. Okay, so just be aware of that as well later today. Now, looking at crude oil, we're coming right back up. Okay, now this is another one that was trading in a range, but is breaking out on the upside, okay? And it's taking somewhat of a roller coaster. I mean, this is a V formation, and I would have expected it to be somewhere in the 76-ish level, and it's pushing higher, so it's gaining some momentum on the upside. Now, looking at natural gas, because that's another one that's actually been relatively strong, okay? Let's take a look at it. There it is. Pushing to 3015. Okay, that is really pushing to new highs. Now, on a daily chart, okay, our next real resistance-ish level is somewhere above here, and 325, 3.25. Okay, so this is very important because this is a major commodity and it moves so quickly. More bang for your buck. Okay, people always gravitate to Bitcoin and stuff like that. This is more bang for your buck. For $300, you could have made $1,000 just trading this in one day. Okay, that's how fast this thing really moves, and that margin takes you so much further. Okay, so that's a big deal. Now, moving over to the US markets, Dow Jones unchanged. Okay, Dow Jones will be the one that will be affected the most by tomorrow's rate statement, so be aware of that. And the NASDAQ on its highs and not sticking lower. Okay, and this is the thing, the markets are taking rotation, the stocks are taking rotation. Whereas we looked at Apple inching closer to its resistance-ish level, boom, hit that resistance and sold off. Okay, this is like auto trading in action. Now, looking at the other markets, Facebook, nice pivot to above $500. That's really important. And Microsoft, remember, inching closer to its all-time record highs at 433. Also, a very important aspect. If we look at Amazon and Google also, they gained nicely closer to their highs, but didn't break out higher yet. All of them didn't. So just be aware of that. Now, let's take a look at Bitcoin, because that was the one Look at it. It just nosedive. You couldn't even catch it to nosedive. Now it is heading over to that supportish area, especially the 200-day moving average. So just be aware for a lookout for a bounce, maybe an aggressive bounce even, and just keep an eye on it, because this is, again, that thing that just keeps on consolidating and then it trades and consolidates and then it trades. So just be aware that it's a choppy market. It's not so easy to trade, and it's much more on price action, just much more on movement and momentum trading, as opposed to sticking to your technical signals or to your technical trading strategy. So just be aware of that. This is Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.